what do they call that in science when you do the same thing over and over again and you get the same results? There seems to be a reoccurring theme on my channel. So on today's episode of Why Stihl Ultra Sucks, this is a customer saw that's in, runs fine, no issues, wants some performance work done to it. We're going to hang a 25-inch bar on here and swing for the fences. He's local. He's a follower of the channel. You know who you are. And I said, hey, man, what kind of oil you running? He was like, well, I still got a bunch of Ultra I'm trying to get rid of. So I've been running it at 40 to 1 since I saw your video 6 months ago or 3 or 4 months ago about it. He said, I got this big pack and just trying to go through it. So let's see what happens. And this would be a short-term test. This saw's in the field every day. So it does get some decent, consistent use. So he's been running 40 to 1 for the last, let's say, couple of months, just to give it a short-term test. I don't know what it looked like before, but I know what 261s look like when they run pond water. And noticeably, yeah, it's darker. It's I'm with him. It's 40 to 1. So, well, before we get, you just got a sneak peek of what's juicy about this. All right, let's look down here in the crankshaft. And get a little bit of light on here. And even at 40 to 1, we're a little bit dry. Upper cylinder. Notice we have glistening pond water clinging to the piston. And we got some cakey carbon, but nothing horrible. Good looking wash pattern. Let's see if we can't take a peek in and see it's cakey. For sure. We'll get that cleaned up. We're going to cut the squish band. Let's see. There's that. Let me get my flashlight out of the way. Yeah, cylinder doesn't look bad at all. Flip it around, see what the intake side looks like. Looks like a champ, all nice and shiny, well taken care of. Upper cylinder lubricant for an oil is easy. And I haven't even looked. This would be one for both you and me to look at the same time. Because I just pulled the cylinder and I was like, oh, this is low-hanging fruit. I got to go there. All right, let's see what we got. That's not horrible. Yeah, we got... Yeah, I'll say worse, I've seen better. And then we look down into the crankcase. Let me move this forward just a little bit so we can. So, with this type of oil, you're going to notice some deposits. Notice the grayish coking. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Look, I ain't no scientist. I just work on this stuff, and I'm just calling balls and strikes. But I don't see anything down there. Do you? I don't. And, dun dun dun. How about them apples? Now, again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a small engine mechanic. So if you run 40 to 1, I don't know if it gets any better, babe. So now it's time for me to say, like, share, subscribe, and then discuss in the comments below. In today's episode of repeatability, tell me what you think down there. Just hold on just a minute before you start putting comments down there. Let's talk about a couple of things. Okay, so this is an M-tronic version. I believe this is M-tronic, and you can tell, hopefully I haven't even looked to see. So this is a version 2. So when you look over here, right there, on your ID tag, so this is version 2. It does have the swept back style cylinder. So this is, pretty modern. The saw itself is a 2008 19. It's a very, very late 18 model. You know, these saws are coming from professional users. They're coming from tree services. They're going to see more use than your regular homeowner. They are run hard, which a two-stroke should. I'm all about that. I think a two-stroke shouldn't be babied. You need to run it. And, you know, we keep seeing these kind of results, and that's all I can say. You know, I mean, these are different tree companies. These are different users. They're all, you know, the only thing that they have in common, especially with these 261s, is that they're running Ultra. So, you know, you go my shoulder. I got Stihl banners. You guys can look at some of my old, I got, you know, this is what I work on, and there's all this stuff here. Those of you who don't know me, these are my personal saws. There's a 400. I got a little trim 193. I got a red light, 56 mag, 084. It's straight Husky, 046. Couple of solos. Got some beautiful old school big Huskies. Yeah, not too terribly brand specific. You know, I like a little bit of everything. But boy, you know, it's tough to look at. You know, here, let's talk just for another minute. You guys, humor me just for a hot second. Get a chance to look at my pretty face. Here, let me back that out just a whisper, make sure you're all in there. I was talking to a Stihl rep last week, and his boss was there as well, and I said, hey, have you got any new two-stroke oil coming down the pipe? And he said, no, why? And I was like, well, you know, Ultra can be a unforgiving oil. And, you know, a lot of people say this, you know, and obviously we've got good upper cylinder lubrication in this saw. We've also got, you know, there's, you know, aside from the coking, I guess if you want to call that, and if somebody's smarter than I am, which shouldn't be too terribly hard, if you'll chime in and put a name to what is coating the front of that piston and why it's there. You know, is this a factor of the operating parameters? You know, does this thing like to live at a lower or higher operating temperature? I'll tell you what, we'll do a follow-up video to this once I get everything cleaned up, and I'll plug it in. I have the Husky diagnostic tool because where I work is a Husky dealer, and then I've got the diagnostic kit for Stihl. So I can tell you runtime, hours, operating temperature, max and average, I think. So maybe we can look into something with that and make this. I'm not going to answer anybody's questions. I'm just saying this is what I see. You know, but you know, he gave me the party line, and I understand. You know, he's a salaried employee with Stihl. But if you work on this stuff every day, and those of you who do work on it, just chime in. I know we all see this. Here's a funny story for you. So somebody put a video up one time, and it was, look what Ultra did to my weed eater. And they took the muffler off and saw something like that and said, here, we're going to pour some Moto Mix into the tank. Dumped out all the old fuel. And the Moto Mix, if you don't know, is the Stihl pre-mixed high octane gasoline mixed with Stihl Ultra, and put it in there, fired it up, zip tied the throttle, and had it, you know, just running wide open on the bench, clamped into a vise, and then ran the entire tank through it, and came back, and some of that carbon glazing that was on there, whatever you want to call it, was gone. And they, you know, oh, that's, I'm like, but who runs a weed eater like that? You know, it's blip, 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 bzz, blip, 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 blip. If anybody out there fires up their weed eater and runs it full tilt boogie from the time they walk out of their shed until they put it back in, I'll buy you a beer. So anyway, this is getting long-winded. Now you can chime in, leave some comments, share this, not just on the internet, but with your friends. You know, I mean, if you like somebody and you know he's using the Ultra, you know, have him look at one of the many I've done. This is maybe 4 videos now. 3 of them have been 261s. There's some repeatability in this product, and it's not good. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thanks for taking the time to sit and listen to me yak if you're still here at the end.